Hello everyone, give me a minute to share the live stream link here. I decided to hop on live stream and just cover this move a little bit and my thoughts, because I know a lot of people probably panicked, so I thought I'd just give my perspective. For live stream, let me just get this shared on various. Share it in Discord as well, and then Twitter. Hope you're all doing well tonight. All right, I think I shared it everywhere. Okay, so yeah, my thought here is I did reopen my swing long on this liquidity grab. So earlier tonight I took a long on Ethereum here. Got a nice initial move, but I took a small long. So I said I'm just going to take a small position off the reaction off this horizontal and maybe look to add to it, which I haven't done yet. But we have this, let me go to the 4-hour chart really quick. We had the back test at this level, nice reaction. Well, let me make sure I don't have too many alerts going off here. Which I wouldn't be against adding to ETH, but I am holding off for now. It is at a key level, but I would like to see a little more strength out of it. But what I did do is I did add to my Bitcoin long. So I have a full swing position, but it has a very tight invalidation. So I am just longing this initial reaction, and if we can't reclaim this level, which is this level that we swing failure several weeks ago, I'm just going to cut the position here. So that stop loss is relatively close, just over 1% away. And so there's really only two levels here I want to trade. I was just playing with some channels here. You can almost just ignore them for now. If we can't reclaim this, then I'm going to just cut my longs until we can reclaim it again. And I'm expecting if we can't reclaim it to at least come down and test this low, in which case I would take another long of a liquidity grab of this low with another tight stop. And those are really the two ideas I'm willing to trade. Either a reclaim of this level, which I am long on now, but if we lose this low, I may cut it, or a swing failure here. And anything in between here and here, I'm not so interested in having a position in because it's not so likely to hold. I'd rather just wait for a reclaim here or a sweep here. If we lose this level, I'm not going to be eager to jump into longs until it's either reclaimed or until we see quite a bit lower or some serious consolidation with some bullish absorption. So that's my approach on Bitcoin. ETH is at a really important level on a high time frame. It's certainly a zone, which I'm happy to have a smaller position from that I would like to add to, but it's such a wide region here. 3%. So, I'm long from about here, which is very close to the current low, probably less than 1%. But my position size is probably about 25% of what I'd like it to be for a swing position. So yeah, anyways, I'm just kind of not going to be too eager to add to all my longs. I did take a long on Sol down here as well. We got about a 3.5% move. We did reject from the point of control. Or sorry, 2.5% move probably. So we do need to hold this region up and claim this point of control. Right now we're rejecting from it. Again, a small long on FTM as well, which had a very similar setup to the Bitcoin setup a couple weeks ago, where we came in and we swept this pivot low into the 886. And if you were following back along here, this is that same kind of setup we got. I'm going to clean up the chart a little bit here so we can see it better, but Very similar setup to what we got on Bitcoin. Let me just clean off all these brush marks. That's gonna make it better. Very similar setup to what we got on Bitcoin a couple weeks ago, where we came in, we swept the pivot low into the 886, and we got this nice rally. So FTM has a similar idea going on here. We had a nice initial impulse, might be coming back to retest the level. But again, I'm happy to, I always manage my risk. I like to split my risk between all of the alts I'm trading. So the one good thing, or the one dangerous thing about trading a bunch of alts is if you're not managing your position size correctly, because the market's so correlated. If you're trading 4 or 5 alts and the market moves against you, well, it's likely all of those positions are going to get stopped out at the same time. So even if you think you have 1 or 2% risk per position, you really have probably more like 8 to 10% risk if you're trading enough alts. So you really want to be careful about splitting that risk appropriately, or just picking one altcoin that you're interested in trading. The market's very correlated, so typically if something's coming down into a nice support region, other things are as well. But for now, on a low time frame here, this is the 5-minute chart, you can see Bitcoin, although it did have that initial nice reaction, we now are consolidating under this level as resistance. So we do want to see that level reclaimed. Is it possible that we just come back down and wick through this low and have another swing failure? Absolutely. But this is really the level of interest that you want to see claim, the major level at play. So if you are interested in swing longs, the idea that I'm most interested in is holding this level as support and not backtesting as resistance, which we are doing right now. Someone asking why separate the risk between alts and Bitcoin. That's just how I like to do it. I like to trade Bitcoin with its own separate risk and alts with their own separate risk. There are some retracement ideas here, of course, just locally. And there were some slight bullish absorptions forming here, but they're pretty much gone now. It's going slightly bearish, but it's on a very low time frame. The most important thing is to really limit your exposure on the chart, whether you have long or short ideas. You're trying to tighten up your invalidation as much as possible. You know, one thing, I was really interested in long ideas here, but the issue became that we had so much bearish absorption happening as we consolidated here. We just missed my stop loss by about $3. See, these little local swing failures are great ideas for scalps if you don't have longs, like just waiting for the consolidation, waiting for that little wick below, because it's not uncommon that you're going to get some kind of reaction there, even if you're just looking for that quick take profit one. Personally, I think those are interesting ways to get into entries. Even this would have been a nice swing failure, but I already have a full swing position, so adding to it is not really an option for me at this point. Somebody's asking if now's a good time to start buying in a little more seriously. Only have 5 to 10% in crypto right now, mostly on the sidelines. So for me, it doesn't really matter whether I'm trading a scalp or a swing trade. I'm always just taking technical ideas with invalidation. So that's how I like to position myself. Someone's asking what a swing failure is. You know, that's stuff I teach in the Lucky Apes trading floor, but essentially it's a liquidity grab. So if you can imagine, you know, let's say whether it's a high time frame or a low time frame, this would be a good example. If people are shorting here, well, where would they put their stops? Just above the highs. And so you can wick up and on high volume, take the liquidity. That's also where people will break out long, and then you have the sharp reversals. So you're looking for those moves down through the levels to grab the liquidity, which is breakdown here would be people who are long with their stop losses under these lows, and people who want to break down short. And you grab the liquidity, and then you have the reversal. So what you're looking for is the level itself that you're swing failuring, in this case this level, to be lost, the liquidity to be grabbed, and then move up. ETH getting a nice move off the bottom of the golden pocket here. There's kind of some descending channel idea here. It's not super clean, but it does sort of exist. Nice touches in the middle, at the bottom of the golden pocket here. But you know, we either rally or we don't. And if we break down, well then, I mean, to me it's just a matter of cutting longs and looking for lower or looking for strength. Yeah, there's some questions like, are you in spot as well? Some of this stuff, I mean, I've gone through it many times in the Discord, but I don't really look at spot any different than derivatives trading. It's just position size, right? So if you have a $100,000 position size in Bitcoin, whether it's spot, whether it's derivatives, it's the same. If the price goes up 10%, you make 10 grand. If it goes down 10%, you lose 10 grand. My stops are just under these lows. Somebody's asking what my stops are on FTM and Sol. So, you know, the idea here for on Sol, my stop's a little lower. It's under these range lows. But yeah, somebody, you know, earlier today we had this wick through this level, and it happened so quick. On the 1 minute chart, you can see we're talking like 1 minute price moved up 4%. And so I took a very small position and I said I'm going to wait for a retest of this level to long, which we just got another one. But so I added to my longs on this retest. As that's what I was waiting for. Bitcoin getting a nice reaction here too. You know, let's just say that if I had been stopped out here, which I almost was, I'd still be looking for a reclaim of this level, and I just long again. The fact that I just got stopped out wouldn't have really changed anything for me. Because reclaiming this level is relevant regardless of if I just got stopped out or not. And I'm using risk management, so. But yeah, these are swing positions. I mean, I'm looking for a nice entry. I'm looking to get out if the position's going against me, but I'm definitely not. I'm not overly suspicious looking for longs at these levels and this level. I do want them, you know. If there's signs of strength here, I'm happy to take on some risk, and obviously I think the risk reward's worth it. But the important thing is that, it's like things like this, as we were consolidating here, I wasn't, I had a lot of long ideas here, but I wasn't longing this whole move down because I was seeing all that bearish absorption. So, and was happy to sit out the weekend. I did take a long on Sol off this point of control. That ended up being a nice trade. About a 7 or 8% move. But we do need to, then I got stopped out at entry, but we do need to reclaim this level now. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to do a quick live stream to go into my thoughts here. It is late for me, nearing 1 in the morning. But this is, an important region of support for me on ETH. I think it's reasonable, like if you are looking for scalp entries in these ranges, you can just see these little liquidity grab swing failures. If you're watching the chart, to look for those little quick entries where you can get even TP1 stops to entry. If you get stopped out, you just do it again, and you can just keep longing these little, with tight invalidation, these little liquidity grabs locally, and then try to turn these into swing positions. Or you can just trade this bigger level with a smaller size and a wider stop, which is what my primary position is now. But I am looking for opportunities to add to it. Yeah, you'll find that these high time frame golden pockets are just really important levels. It's not uncommon to get, some consolidation in them, some little local liquidity grabs, wicks, even a little bit through the levels, but it's not uncommon that you would see some kind of move off of these levels. Yeah, I don't know if somebody's saying the volume. This comes up almost every live stream. Sometimes, but half the people say there's no problem, half the people say that there is a problem. So somebody's asking where the ETH stop loss is. My position is very small. It's 25% of my intended size, so I have a very wide stop loss. It's beyond this descending channel idea, but I would like to add to my position and move my stops up. There's a part of me that is willing to wait to see what the New York Open looks like tomorrow to add to ETH. Maybe we get I'm exposed. I have longs. If we get a nice push up and a retracement idea into the New York Open, I might look to add there and then put my stop under this structure. The point of control is pulled with a volume profile. Here in settings or in these tools, you hear fixed range volume profile. You pull it across the range that you're interested in. Bitcoin showing some strength, looking like it might want to reclaim this level. So anyways, I'm not going to sit here all night obviously and watch price action. I just thought I would do a live stream because I've talked about these levels quite a bit on Twitter, and I've talked about this ETH idea. And I said earlier today, as we were bouncing up here, that I wasn't longing yet. I was waiting for some signs of strength. And if we just hone in on this, so I was waiting initially for this level to be reclaimed. And, in the Discord, I said I'm not longing until this level's reclaimed. We're rejecting from it. This is, again, similar to Bitcoin. You're looking for that swing failure. So this is the low on a higher time frame. You're looking for that low to be reclaimed and not back tested as resistance. But as we got lower into this level, this is where I opened up my swing position, but a small position and looking to add. But I'm gonna probably wait at this point until the New York Open tomorrow to look to add to ETH. I have a full position on Bitcoin now. We do still need to see this level reclaimed, for this to play out some more bullish scenarios. Alts are holding up pretty decently comparatively to ETH and Bitcoin, but they're that major support, FTM and Sol, so we'll see. Obviously this is where I long Sol before, the lows of this range. got a very nice move out of Sol, and we got a nice move out of, oops, this is the 1 minute chart. We got a nice move out of FTM as well, but we've come and swept these lows into the 886. So my style of trading is I take positions and I take profits off my positions and set my stop to entry. So if I get stopped out, I'm in profit. I can always look to add if I like what I see. Like here, you know, instead of finding yourself in a position where you have trades go 20% in your favor, you don't take any profits, you don't put your stop to entry, and you just turn all these great winning trades into losers for no reason. When, you know, the market typically does retrace, retest levels, or in this case, go deeper. You know, there's always lower levels of support to be aware of. It's important to just trade reasonably, take profits reasonably, and so on. Yeah, so someone's saying they're waiting for ETH to go to the 786. I mean, absolutely. If this level doesn't hold up, the harmonic ideas I'm interested in, they can go all the way down to the 886. I mean, personally, I'd be suspicious of the 886 if we break this level down. We can't show some strength here, and I'd be more apt to look to the 886 just because of the liquidity under these lows. There's not a lot of structure here. So I have some ideas of why I would like to see a bounce at the golden pocket here, but of course this level can break down, in which case you just got to look for lower. And there's no guarantees, right? I mean, you're really just trying to manage your risk. You're trying to look for good places to get into positions with tight invalidation, but that doesn't just mean arbitrarily tight invalidation like this. It needs to make sense technically. And so you really want to understand how price is likely to move, or how it moves often, so you can set your stops reasonably but as tight as possible. Yeah, Drew's saying, thanks dude, I feel your method of managing risk and taking profits is almost more valuable than the TA, though that's great too. Really changed my trading. Yeah, you know, when you really just kind of remove the emotions of trading and you look at the market, you realize that price goes rallies, retraces, rallies, retraces, rallies, retraces, rally, retrace, rally, retrace, sweeps the highs, and then on a higher time frame retraces the entire move again. So, you know, on a high time frame, I've been long this low, long this low, long this low, but I'm taking profits, I'm adding, taking profits, adding, taking profits, adding, shorting, and even here, longing, taking profits aggressively, taking profits higher, looking to add on retracements. I think I took a scalp long in here as well that worked, and a scalp long here that did not, but I just cut the position, like I longed here and cut it there, waited for lower. Well, this was a short setup that I missed, but it was a nice, perfect golden pocket move here. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a good night. I just thought, you know what, I'll hop on a live stream here because this is potentially scary price action. And I'm not saying that we can't go lower. I'm just saying, for me, it's levels I'm interested in trading, but just always using risk management because anything can happen. The bottom of the market can drop out, and if it does, I'm not going to get wrecked. I'm just going to get stopped out of my positions. All right. Hope you guys have a good night.